The Academy Awards have been a staple of Hollywood since basically the beginning, and are considered to be the most prestigious award a filmmaker can receive. With decades of Oscar winners, snubs, and mistakes, it doesn't seem like they're gonna go anywhere anytime soon. So let's talk about the Razzies. The Golden Raspberry Awards, or the Razzies, is an annual award show meant to celebrate the worst movies of the year. It was started in 1981 by a man named John J.B. Wilson, and has been held every year since. It was intended to be a parody of the Oscars, with the Razzies initially being held on the same night as the Oscars, but has since grown into its own thing. The very first Golden Raspberry Awards show was held on March 31st, 1981 in the living room of John J.B. Wilson's home during his yearly Oscar party. He got the idea after watching a double feature of Can't Stop the Music and Xanadu. On the drive home, he started to think that they deserved their own awards because of their low quality, and also thought about all the other movies that had disappointed him that year. Wilson never intended the Razzies to become anything big, as only 12 people attended the first ceremony. After the 53rd Annual Academy Awards had concluded, he passed out ballots to his guests and asked everyone to vote for the worst movies of the year. There was a lectern made of cardboard, a microphone made out of a foam ball taped to a broomstick, and friends were invited to give random presentations in the same vein as the Oscars. The first show was such a success that there was a press release about the event in local papers, including the Los Angeles Daily News, which is the second largest paid daily newspaper in LA. The following year, the second award show had doubled its attendance, and the third one doubled it again. The fourth annual Razzies had grown so much that Wilson could no longer host the show in his own home, and it was instead held in LA's 3rd Street Elementary School. This was also the first time that the Razzies would be held a day before the Oscars instead of on the same day. Wilson realized that since news outlets from all over the world had come to LA to cover the Oscars, most of them had nothing to do the day before, so he invited them to his award show to get more press coverage. Categories in the Golden Raspberry Awards are generally what you'd expect them to be. Worst picture, worst actor, worst screenplay, you get it. But, since they can do whatever they want, they occasionally introduce special categories that apply to specific films of that year. Some of these include Worst Reckless Disregard for Human Life and Public Property, which is awarded to Con Air in 1997, and then to Rambo Last Blood in 2019. Then you have Worst Excuse for an Actual Movie, which is awarded to The Cat in the Hat in 2003, and the Razzie nominee So Rotten You Loved It, which is awarded to Baywatch in 2017. However, it's difficult to run an award show about the worst movies ever without running into controversy. In 2022, the Razzies introduced a new special category, Worst Bruce Willis Performance in a 2001 Movie. The reason it was created is simply because Bruce Willis had starred in so many low-rated movies that year. The award show caught some heat for this when it was announced by Willis's family that he had been diagnosed with aphasia, which is a disorder that impairs a person's ability to comprehend or formulate language, which is the reason that he had taken so many roles that year. He was trying to make as much money as he could while he was still able to work. Then in 2023, they nominated 12-year-old actress Ryan Kiera Armstrong for Worst Actress for her role in the movie Firestarter, which wasn't the first time an underage actor has been nominated for a Razzie, and it's always been an unpopular choice. Despite the controversies, the Razzies seem to not want to grant awards in bad taste. After finding out about Willis's diagnosis, they retracted the entire category, stating that it would be inappropriate to award a Golden Raspberry to someone whose performance was affected by a medical condition. And, in an attempt to make up for their nomination of a 12-year-old for Worst Actress, they rescinded the nomination and decided that people under 18 would no longer be nominated for the awards. That year, they awarded the Golden Raspberry for Worst Actress to themselves. Surprisingly, there have been a few people over the years who have elected to receive the Razzies in person. Most people, I think, would rather not accept an award saying that they did a really bad job. The first person ever to accept their award in person was Paul Verhoeven in 1996, who received the Razzie for Worst Picture for his movie Showgirls. In 2010, Sandra Bullock accepted the Worst Actress award for her role in All About Steve, and at the ceremony she even brought DVDs of the movie and handed them out to audience members. One of the most memorable moments of the Razzies came in 2005, when Halle Berry accepted the award for Worst Actress for the movie Catwoman while she was holding the Oscar that she received for her performance in Monsters Ball. Naturally, most filmmakers aren't very happy about winning a Golden Raspberry. One of the biggest critics of the Razzies has been Sylvester Stallone. This is likely due to Stallone having a total of 40 nominations during his career so far, and winning 12 of them. He currently holds the record for both the greatest number of nominations and the most wins in Razzie history. Adam Sandler is in close second with 39 nominations and 9 total wins. Not all Razzie awards are bad though. In 2014, there was a new category announced for the award show, the Razzie Redeemer Award. This award, as you might be able to gather from the name, is awarded to past Razzie nominees, or winners, who made a comeback after their failure, and it's been presented almost every year since. The only year it wasn't presented was 2020, when it was replaced with the Special Governor's Award for the worst calendar year ever. The very first Redeemer Award went to Ben Affleck, who had initially won a Razzie for his role in Geely, but went on to make the critically acclaimed Argo in Gone Girl. The Razzie Redeemer Award is considered to be the only Razzie that you want to win, but you probably could have guessed that. So who exactly votes for the winners of the Razzies? Well, Razzie members do, of course. If you go to Razzies.com, you'll find a section to join the Razzies. With a tagline that states, "Don't bitch, vote," Razzie memberships cost $40 initially and then $25 annually to renew. Higher tiers actually allow you to gift memberships to other people, with the $50 membership allowing you to gift a membership to anybody you want, and higher tiers allowing you to extend that gift to even more people. And you know what? If this video somehow gets 500 likes in the first month, I will buy the $100 membership and give out 5 memberships to random subscribers. So who wants to be a Razzie member? Let's see it happen. In the modern day, some people may find it difficult to justify the existence of the Golden Raspberry Awards, simply because criticizing bad movies has become a fairly big career with the advent of the internet and YouTube. I bet most of you watching could name more than a few YouTubers who do essentially the same thing as the Razzies, just on a smaller scale. I disagree with this. While it's true that criticizing films has become a popular career path, it's not exclusive to bad movies. There are countless video essays and breakdowns on the internet of basically every movie that exists. To say that the Razzies has no place because of this is more or less the same as saying that the Oscars has no place for the same reason, which is absurd. That said, there is an argument to be made about the modernization of the Razzies themselves. While other award shows like the Oscars and the Tony Awards have embraced the social media landscape by creating official accounts for their events, the Razzies haven't. Like, at all. I couldn't even find a Facebook page for them. They have their official website and they have a YouTube channel where they announce the nominees and winners each year, but that's it. Engaging in something like the Razzies is somewhat difficult in this sense, because even their YouTube channel doesn't have the actual award ceremonies, just the nomination and winner announcements. Despite their lack of social media presence, I'd argue that the Razzies still hold an important place in Hollywood, especially in the modern day. With major studios pushing out movies as fast as they can without even caring about the quality of the finished project, it's good to have an award show like this specifically to point out just how bad these movies can get. The 2025 Razzie Awards saw some of the biggest news coverage for the show in recent memory, particularly because of just how many notable failures there were. Sony's attempt to copy the success of the MCU resulted in their movie Madam Web winning a total of 3 Razzies, and their other MCU knockoff that year, Kraven the Hunter, got 3 more nominations for them. And then there's the unneeded and unwanted follow-up to 2019's Joker, Joker Folie à Deux, which got 7 nominations and took home 2 of them. Borderlands, The Crow, Mufasa the Lion King, so many huge movies with so much missed potential, all here just because studios think that they've cracked the formula. Which brings us to possibly the biggest headline from the ceremony. Legendary director Francis Ford Coppola wins Worst Director for his movie Megalopolis. After his Razzie win, Coppola, who's most well known for directing The Godfather, took to Instagram to say, quote, "I'm thrilled to accept the Razzie Award in so many important categories for Megalopolis, and for the distinctive honor of being nominated as the Worst Director, Worst Screenplay, and Worst Picture at a time when so few have the courage to go against the prevailing trends of contemporary filmmaking." This statement from Coppola, along with his Razzie win, really says the whole story. He made something entirely different, something that no major studio would even consider making. And regardless of whether or not we think that effort was worth it, the fact is that the movies that these same studios did end up making ended up in the same place as Megalopolis. There is no secret code. There is no formula. People like movies that are good and entertaining, but there's such a huge obsession with making money that studios are willing to sacrifice the quality of every project they fund just because they don't see the inherent value in creativity. So personally, I hope the Razzies continue for a long time to come. I also hope that they start to make it easier to engage with the awards in some way, but hey, it's the Golden Raspberry Awards. They're gonna do whatever the fuck they want.